What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Silent Hill Ascension. We had actually just yesterday talked about if over these next 2 days we're getting something Silent Hill, right? We've heard a lot of rumors, Dusk Golem being one of them, that we're going to get something, and we did. I qualify this, I classify this. This, I think, makes sense that this is what we got. Maybe over the next week or two, we'll get Silent Hill 2. Maybe that appears at Summer Game Fest. We can get a release date or something there, but I want to talk about this game. We heard a little bit about it when they did the Silent Hill transmission. It sounds intriguing. It sounds like things could go wrong, and I'm going to try to be honest where I feel like I know things versus where I don't, because they have done other games like this, these interactive things. So for those that don't know, let's try to recap what in God's name this game even is. So the best way of probably describing it is a Telltale, Life is Strange, dark pictures that's super massive, right? Where you're choosing your own story. You have this selection of characters and you walk them through the path, right? A single player story. It's not single player though, right? So this is going to be live streamed out into the world, and it's like a Twitch chat. So the community is going to have control over what happens to it. That's probably the best way of explaining it to somebody who has absolutely no idea. Now, their past endeavors, at least one of them, they did a game, The Walking Dead, The Last Mile. I watched a couple of the trailers before I recorded this, and they definitely didn't look great. The reception to that game was very much not good, so it's not the greatest history I think they're coming from. However, this looks, at least visually, much improved. They talk about their writing team. They have a lot of ex-Telltale employees, so it probably will feel like a Telltale game with its decision-making and character arcs and all that stuff. I want to kind of go through, they did an interview on Polygon, and I normally don't go on Polygon, but I had to for this interview. And again, the game sounds intriguing. The game sounds like something that could work, and if we're all just trying to get these characters through a Life is Strange Telltale-like game, I think it could be rather cool. I get worried about, I guess, how they're rolling it out. It sounds kind of confusing. It sounds kind of weird. And then I also get worried about, can people derail this? And I want to start there. So they talked about this. They specifically mentioned this in the interview, and they said back when they revealed the game, one of the things that they got back from, the community is, well, what if people just become trolls, right? What if the goal of these live streams, what if people just kind of hijack it and try to kill everyone off? Now, they provide no data, but they do say that in their past experiments, their past games, it seems like people go for the best outcome. I don't know if that's true. I also feel like, and my wife brought up this point that was actually really good, if you have a situation that happens in the game that goes against what you as a player wants, is that going to turn you off to it? I can tell you, probably from me, the answer is yes. I'm used to playing Life is Strange. The first season is one of my favorite games of all time. Telltale's Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, the list goes on. These are incredible games. I like to play them alone. I like to be in charge of what happens to Max or Lee and Clementine, right? I don't want 1,000 other people to tell me what's happening to these characters. On the flip side, I want to be aware that I'm not the only person who plays games, that other people can play games how they want. I do think this fits a kind of medium, and maybe it's not going to be the medium for me. Maybe it will be. I don't know yet until we're actually kind of a part of it. But they did also mention some people are just going to watch this. You don't have to click on anything. You go to their website. They said they're going to be hosting it on different things. So it's going to be like a Netflix app. You can download this on PlayStation, on Xbox, and be part of it. But you don't have to interact with the chat. You don't have to make decisions that get averaged out with everybody else. You can sit and watch. Again, that's not probably for me, because if a big decision gets made that's opposite of what I want, well, I'll just go play, Life is Strange or Walking Dead. But I think that could be rather interesting. But again, their words are, from what they have found, people naturally are good. So if you want faith in humanity, you have that. People naturally in these games try to go for the good decisions versus trying to kill everybody off. I don't know about that. I've seen plenty of YouTube videos that play Mass Effect or Dragon Age or whatever, and their entire goal is to kill everybody. There's numerous people that do that. So I don't know how true it is. We'll have to find out when the game comes out. And so that's the next thing, because that's also, to me, where it really just gets kind of confusing. So what I understand this to be is this is a multiple month thing, and every day they're going to have something playing out. And it sounds like each week is almost an episode. So you'll have 1 week, and each week is going to be however long that live stream lasts. It sounds like maybe like 45 minutes to an hour, and it's going to be some decision making, some not, some building of the game or of the world, right? The plot, the characters, stuff like that. You'll make decisions, you'll come back the next day, and it'll be either the next part or it'll be kind of what you just did, but slightly different. But you'll be able to watch kind of like a recap. And they mentioned Game of Thrones. So like the opening of Game of Thrones, basically what you missed from the week prior, they're going to do that daily. So if you miss day 1, 2, 3, you go in on day 4, there's going to be a recap that goes over where we're at, how we got there. And then at the end of every week, there's going to be a 45-minute episode that goes over the entire thing. So like a weekly recap, or I mean, they describe it as literally a television show. So you're going to get episode 1, and that it's the entire first week. Then episode 2, that's the entire second week. And that's going to go on for several months. And then they're going to run the game back. Whatever decisions were made in that first run are going to be blocked out. So when they redo the game, when we replay the game, like a new game plus, you won't be able to choose the outcome that you chose in the first run. So again, like a lot of like fascinating things. Like you're gonna, second time around, you're literally not gonna be able to do what you did the first time. They have multiple main characters because they do expect some to not make it to the end. It sounds interesting. And when you watch the trailer, like the trailer does look rather, at least visually, it looks good. They've talked about the fidelity, that they expect this game to run really well. And actually, they went so far to say what you saw in the trailer, that's the quality of the entire game anywhere. Your phone, your computer, an app on PlayStation, an app somewhere else, that's what it's going to look like. Again, is that actually going to happen with cloud streaming and all this different stuff? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. And that's what kind of goes back to the worrisome thing. It doesn't look like they've ever proven they can do it. So at the same time, it's new people. It's like 3-4 different companies working on this one game. It's different. And, again, one more time back to the whole, not every game needs to be made for me. To be fair, there's like 80 Silent Hill games happening. I'm most into Silent Hill 2's remake. Let's see if they can do it. But you got Silent Hill F, you got this, you got Tower, you got a lot of different Silent Hill games coming. This is just one very wacky, very different kind of thing, and maybe it works. I just get worried that almost a requirement of having to watch each episode daily, and this is going to go on for weeks, and then those are actually going to go on for months, and are you going to be able to play catch up? And I guess the final thing is pricing. Now, from what I saw, and if you guys know, please let me know in the comments, for Walking Dead, I think it was free. It was through Facebook. They had some sort of partnership, and everything was free. So I don't know how they even made money, maybe ads, right, through that. If you guys know, let me know. For this, they specifically do not say. They say this is not a $70 game, and they say it's not a subscription service. It's not like a monthly thing. That was actually one of the first things that popped in my head, where you say, okay, well, for every month that you're watching this television show, basically, right, and you're interacting, do you pay? Do you pay like per month, or you could pay for like the entire like a 4-month package? They specifically say no. So they've eliminated monthly subscriptions, and they've eliminated a full price like video game, purchase. So there's really, ads are kind of the only other thing I can think of. So is the game going to get interrupted every day with like a 2-minute like ads? Is it going to feel like the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest? There's going to be like an ad break in it. That's really the only way they probably could make money. And this thing sounds, from what they say, and it looks expensive, very expensive. So you have to make money somehow, and I get that. And, having ads, I guess if you're going to do it, it's free for us. We just have to kind of sit through them. But again, are these things that are going to derail it? Are people in the chat going to get upset? They want the chat to be like this interactive, also kind of like water cooler talk of which again sounds cool, and it could work, right? Like Game of Thrones at its peak, right? You go to work the next day, you talk about the episode. Imagine doing that daily for Silent Hill. Imagine doing that daily for Silent Hill, and then you actually play it. You are the reason that thing happened the night before or that day. You're the cause of it. That, if it works, it could be extremely cool. But if it doesn't work, it could probably just fall flat on its face. I feel like this is a game that can come out and either be really cool and have an audience, or like no one cares. It has like 200 live viewers and it burns out like in a couple months or maybe a couple of weeks. Those are really the only two things I could see happening with it. So let me know what you guys think of the game in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If there's interest, I will definitely cover it more. I mean, we can't play it on our own, so I guess we'd all be playing it together. But no, I'll be sure to cover the game a little bit more as we get closer. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all on the next one.